Hi everyone and welcome. This is Elena and today I have a card for you using the Hero Art color layering puppy and the postage stamp framelits. This technique was inspired by a video I recently watched on my Paper Tray Ink YouTube channel. It's masking and die cutting. Actually, I'm not gonna die cut the images, but I'm gonna die cut masks and stamp into those little windows that will create. So let's get started. I'm using, as I said, the color layering puppy, and I have mask paper here. I've already cut the mask paper and the puppy and the stamps. So I'm first arranging the puppies where I want them to be, as well the stamps. Not the stamps, but the stems. I apologize, it's like 1 a.m. here and I'm trying to voice over this video. So next I'll apply this larger mask, which is the postage stamp. I use the second to the largest die. And next I'm doing some sponging, some ink blending using soft pull, tight pull, and antique. So I'm starting with the lightest. If you notice here, I'm using the soft pull. So I'm sponging all over, kind of ink blending all over that window. Next I'm adding some tight pull on the top. I'm going like halfway down, and then I'll blend it in with the soft pull to kind of make that transition line a little bit more subtle. I'm just adding some more, and then I'll go with the darkest one, which is the antique. Just adding on the top and then blending it in with the tight pull. So next, carefully I'm removing the masks using tweezers. And here, because I put it underneath, I need to remove that postage stamp mask a little bit. Just being careful it doesn't kind of misplaces. So I need to make sure that it's kind of follows that postage stamp line. So next I'm layering the puppies. This is the first layer. I'm using the coordinating ink cubes that are made for this stamp set. So I'm starting with fresh peach for my first layer, and I'm stamping a few times because it didn't really the paper didn't really take the ink, probably because I had that mask. So the MISTI makes it easier, not easier, but makes it wonderful to do that a few times and always to be at the same spot. So next I'm positioning the second layer, and for this one I'll be using pale tomato. And if you notice that I heat set my paper in order the ink to dry, so the inks don't really bleed into each other, so I have end up with more crisp image. So now I'm stamping the same way this one a couple times and then drying it. If you notice that I use Versamark on my stamp before I inked it, that's in order to absorb better the ink when I apply to the stamp. Next I'm positioning the third layer. I had a little bit more trouble with this one, so it was harder to see, but I did it. Next I'm using the Hero Art Bold Ink Crimson. This is the darkest red. So you notice there my larger poppy, it's not getting the ink much, so I'm kind of repeatedly stamping over it. So next I'm positioning the centers, and I'll be using VersaFine Onyx Black because I like how intense and rich black it is. But before I do that, I will set the ink again and stamp that. So next I have left the stems. The stems, I keep calling them stamps. So when there are thin stamps like this, it's really much harder to position them, even in an acrylic block. Not the MISTI is a little bit easier, but I still find it difficult to position it perfectly. So I'm kind of using, because they tend to flip, they're very thin and tend to flip on the side. So I'm using the magnet to pull that stamp up so I can pick it up with the lid. So you can notice here I have a little bit trouble, but I think I did it and it looks pretty much okay. So next I'll use the fresh one ink and stamp those tints, and I think that looks perfect. And next in order is the sentiment. So I'm using the sentiment from the same kit. I'm just positioning parallel with my border there, so everything is lined up. And I'm using again VersaFine Onyx Black to stamp that. So now we're done, and I'm removing the mask, and you can see how nice. I was really pleased with the results. So next I'm just die cutting this. I'm using a Mama Elephant die. I liked it because it had stitch border. So because I'm doing one layer, well, this will be kind of 2-layer card, but no embellishments, nothing. So I just wanted to add a little bit more interest with that false stitching around the edges. So next I'm taking some white card base, and I'll adhere my panel to it. And with this, the card is pretty much done. Thanks for watching, and see you soon in another video. Bye!